Hey there, if you're thinking about buying a home in the Seattle area and you want to feel totally confident about your decision, this video is going to open your eyes because the truth is your brain is kind of a trickster. Number one is called anchoring bias, falling in love with the first house you see. Your brain latches on to the first thing that it sees that it likes, and then everything else that you see is going to compare to that, even if it's overpriced or need repairs or isn't actually like a practical good fit for you. What I recommend is for my clients to tour 10 homes, leave your checkbook at home, no credit cards, we're not buying anything, we're just learning the market. We're looking at 10 as a baseline, so we're not anchoring on just one, we're getting a broad spectrum of what's available. And then you can actually use a scoring system to rank the different ones that you've toured, so you can kind of start to see what's most important to you, and the things that are on your must-have list often will change over time. Number two is the scarcity trap. If we don't buy this house right now, we'll regret it forever. It's tough. In a competitive market like we often have in Seattle and Bellevue, scarcity is real and it's scary. But your reaction to it is often exaggerated. In the moment, when your adrenaline is high, you're gonna feel like if you don't get this home, the world is gonna come to an end, right? You're never gonna have such a good home at such a good price. And it often can lead to people overpaying for a home or overlooking major defects in a home. In that situation, you feel like you're not carefully taking your time to choose the right home. You're fending off this primal fear of missing out. And here's the ninja trick. So I want you to zoom out from that situation. I remind my clients, if you found one you like, you can find another one you like. They're more fish in the sea. And we use market data to show patterns. If we really do need to move fast, we will go in prepared, but we will not need to go in panicked. Number three is called confirmation bias. Basically, in this pattern, we're looking for reasons to like the house that you already chose. So once your brain decides this is the one, this is the house I want, it starts filtering out all of the negative issues of the home. And this, I think, in my mind, this is why we do the inspection after you already have it under contract, because it makes it that much more likely that you can overlook a few things on the inspection and keep the transaction together, because your brain has already decided you're moving into the home, right? If that weren't the case, so before you make the offer, before you get your offer accepted, you're going to be more likely to look for problems, have a critical eye, and start worrying about that. My job is to help you challenge your assumptions in a clear and supportive way. I'm kind of the guy that pans the house on the first walk through, so that even if you do love it, you can kind of look at those things with a more critical eye earlier in the process than you can later in the process. And if we have a pre-inspection provided by the seller, then we'll look at those issues at that point as well. Number four, we're going to talk about decision fatigue. This is a huge one. When you have too many choices, you can just get overwhelmed by making choices. That's why these billionaire, Steve Jobs and Mark Zuckerberg, like they famously are wearing the same hoodie or the same black turtleneck every day so that they're not having to make too many choices. What I find how that applies to real estate is that after you've seen about 6 homes in a day, your brain starts to turn to mush. You start mixing up which kitchen went with which house, forgetting, the one that had the cracked driveway, and saying things like, was that the house we liked? Decision fatigue is very real, and it makes it hard to consistently make wise choices. And that's why I structure showings to keep you sharp. We don't like to look at too many homes at once, usually 3 to 5 per outing. 6 is a good maximum to have in your mind. And we space them out usually about half an hour at each home so that you can be there and absorb it. You're not running, through all of the homes in the area. If you're coming into town for the weekend, you're relocating here and you just have a short amount of time to tour property, it's better to do 2 half days on Saturday and Sunday rather than one giant day of tours. So if you're doing a video tour, it's not as critical. You can kind of space it out more easily. And when we do that, I'm going to take very detailed videos and very detailed notes so you can review everything together and see everything that's not featured in the beautiful Photoshop pictures online, right? We're going to give you how it smells. We're going to give you what's going on at the neighbor's creepy house next door. And we're gonna look inside the cabinets and under the sink and just make sure everything's looking how we expect. The number 5 issue that I want you to just be aware of is called post-purchase dissonance, also known more commonly as buyer's remorse. And yes, even when you find seemingly the perfect home, a lot of times you feel this wave of panic after your offer is accepted. You're excited, but you're also scared by all of the unknowns. And these two conflicting feelings create cognitive dissonance. And it's totally normal. To counter it, I want you to back through your decision-making process, and I will remind you why this home checked all of your boxes, all of the other homes that you looked at, how long you've been shopping, and what we negotiated in your favor, so you can continue to feel solid about your decision and sleep well at night. So if you bought a house before, you may recognize some of these feelings that have come up in the past, or you may be concerned about how your spouse will react in the future. Maybe you're chill, but they're really nervous, or you have different ideas of what's important in a house, right? So try to be neutral, observe your feelings, and the goal is not to judge yourself or your spouse, but to become aware of the scripts that you're replaying in your mind. And buying a home is not a quick decision, it's a strategic process. So sometimes it's really helpful to have a neutral third party or real estate agent who understands the psychology of buying and the real estate tactics that will help negotiate a successful conclusion. Before you go, make sure you grab my free copy of 5 Secrets to Strengthen Your Offer. This guide will help you write the kind of offer that gets noticed in a competitive market like Seattle or Bellevue. The link is below in the description. After you download that, I hope you'll watch the video specifically on how to make a winning offer in our market. So let's get you into the right home the smart way. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.